So there have been two things that have been really common recently: AI and scamming. And when the two do a fusion dance, you get an AI voice scam, and it seems a lot of old people are falling for it. And it's not like I'm ever gonna blame an old person for falling for a scam because AI is still relatively new. But something I've noticed is a lot of scammers target these old people because they don't even know what AI is, because it is so new and they don't know technology very well. And I want to show you the two newest scams that I found out about because I do think it's generally heartbreaking that some people are actually willing to do this. But you would also be surprised how easy it is for anybody to do this scam. Hit that subscribe button. It's free.
This phone call of her life. On the other end, she hears her daughter crying.
She's like, "Mom, I messed up," as she's crying and sobbing.
Then a man gets on the line and claims he's kidnapped her 15-year-old daughter, Bree.
He's like, "Listen here, I've got your daughter. You're not going to call anybody. You're not going to call the cops." And I just put the phone on mute and started screaming for help.
The kidnappers demand $1 million before reducing it to $50,000.
Let's be clear here, I'm not blaming the panicked mom, but if someone actually does kidnap your child, this is how you can tell it's fake, because nobody is going to lower the ransom money. Also, just on a side note, sorry if you hear any background status, I'm trying a new way of recording, so that might happen. But let me give you an example. If your kid is kidnapped by, let's say, the mafia and held ransom money, and they ask you for $1 million, they're not gonna go like, "Oh, you have bills to pay soon? Well, sorry, give me $50,000. If somebody wants something that badly that they're gonna kidnap somebody for it, they're gonna get the amount that they want, and they're not gonna take less.
I, at that point, started screaming at them that I want to talk to my daughter again, which they refused.
But here's the thing. Her daughter had not been kidnapped, and that was not her begging mom for help. Her voice had been duplicated by a scammer using artificial intelligence.
I didn't for a second doubt her voice.
AI expert Hani Farid showed me how it's done. The Berkeley professor says he can take just a few examples of my real voice and manipulate it to say something I never said.
I went over to YouTube and I searched for your name and I found an interview that you gave. It took me all of 5 seconds to do that. I uploaded that to a web service that I pay $5 a month for. In about 30 seconds, it cloned your voice. I typed what I wanted you to say and it handed me an audio file back. That whole thing took me under 5 minutes to do.
Does anyone else find it so crazy that you can just pay $5 a month to scan anybody's voice? Now, I want to point something out. The older generation is pretty gullible. They also don't know how to use technology, and they don't even know what AI is. And this could happen to literally anybody in your family for the price of $5. Is that not a little bit crazy? Does no one else think that that's a huge problem with AI? Because to me, that just seems really dangerous.
So I have the recording that you made. I'm going to play it right now.
It's Allison. This is going to be hard to believe, but I've been kidnapped. They want $1 million ransom. Otherwise, they say they'll hurt me. I don't know what's going to happen. They want me to hang up now. I've got to go. I love you.
That's pretty creepy.
I do feel like most people aren't going to fall for that, though, because it does sound so robotic. Hi, my name is Allison. Do you like potatoes? I'm definitely a human person. Can you please send me $50,000? Now, I do understand how people are going to fall for this because old people don't know how AI works. But not to mention, if you're a parent and you hear that your kid just got kidnapped, you're not going to question, is this AI? I think your first question is going to be, how can I save my child from this situation?
Fortunately, mom Jennifer DeStefano called Bree before paying a dime in ransom money.
Let's go, Bree!
I was in Flagstaff skiing with my little brother. My mom called me and she was crying, like bawling.
It still gives me goosebumps because her voice was so real.
Bree has no idea how the scammers got a sample of her voice that they used to create the phony kidnapping script.
I cry like a very specific way.
I think I might actually know how he got a sample of your voice. He probably went to your social media or found something that was related to you on social media and then copied it from there. A lot of these scammers actually do research on who they're going to scam, so they're probably going to go to your social media beforehand. So if I had to guess, the scammer did research on who your family was and then chose who to scam based off of who they were connected to. But it is so scary to think about that this could only happen for the price of $5.
Says her nightmare started when her grandson's caller ID popped up on her phone. The 89-year-old heard her grandson's voice. When you got this call and you thought it was your grandson, what was the person on the phone saying to you?
I broke my nose and I have stitches inside my mouth. And I was upset and I said, "What happened?"
I just want to say I'm not blaming this woman for not knowing it's fake, but something I just realized is, how do you break your nose and get stitches in your mouth in the same injury? I generally sat here for 5 minutes trying to figure out how you get stitches in your mouth and you break your nose, and the only conclusion I can come to is he was John Wick's stuntman. But when it comes to these AI cover stories, they all suck. They can't write a story to save their lives. They're just like Warner Brothers.
Then she says another person, identifying himself as her grandson's attorney, told her grandson had been arrested. for hitting another car and a pregnant woman. She was told pay $9,000 in cash and the charges would be dropped.
I just thought to myself, I have to keep myself calm enough to get my grandson out of jail.
The San Diego grandma went to the bank and is seen on ring cam video handing over $9,000 in cash to a man in a baseball cap. But then came another call, news about the pregnant woman and her baby.
And I have to tell you that the baby has died. And I became hysterical.
You must have been pretty scared, right?
Just terribly, terribly upset and actually scared at that point. I was scared for my grandson.
The caller demanded another $5,000 since the charges would now be more serious.
I'm not supposed to say anything to you, just thank you.
Yep.
I'm pretty sure this guy on the left is the scammer, and to that guy, fuck you. Not to mention, you're horrible at scamming. You just happened to run into an old lady who was really, really, really trying to take care of her grandson. So screw you for emotional manipulation too, but also, when it comes to court cases, you don't pay like 59 increments of $99.99. Not to mention, if this actually happened, they're not gonna call you and say, hey, pay up. They're gonna send the police to your house. So he's not even a smart scammer, he's just manipulating an old woman. And for that, fuck you. And I really hope they arrest him.
She paid up and was scammed again. She finally realized she'd been hoodwinked when she called her grandson and found out he was okay.
I was just humiliated. I was shamed. How could it possibly happen? I'm not supposed to say anything to you, just thank you.
Now, I just want to say, if you use someone's family against them in order to scam them, I think you're the scum of the earth. And I'm genuinely hoping Grandma Shirley here was able to get her, scammer arrested, because they generally deserve some jail time for all this. But please comment down below what you think, and also comment down below if anyone's ever tried to scam you like this, because I can't imagine it being this common now with everyone knowing what AI is. Again, this all happened because of $5 a month. There needs to be a regulation on AI or something. Like, it's generally dangerous. But anyway, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe, as it really helps the channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Later.